because the Jazz are the best team in the NBA right now, according to their record. They've won 22 of their last 24. Max, do you believe that they're the best team in the NBA at this moment?
Right now, yes, they're the best team in the NBA, and they're playing the best basketball. They've replaced the Lakers since AD went down. Remember, not that long ago, I kept saying it, the Lakers are the only team in the league absolutely elite on offense and defense. You heard Stephen A. just now. They ain't elite on defense right now, let alone on offense. You know who they've been replaced by? The Utah Jazz. Top 5 offensive and defensive efficiency. No one else in the NBA is. Now, Markieff Morris is right. The playoffs are a different story. You want to ask me if they beat a full-strength Lakers in the playoffs? Maybe, but I favor the Lakers. A full-strength Clippers in the playoffs? Maybe. A full-strength Nets in the finals? Different story. Sixers? I don't know. But I can tell you this. Right now, Stephen A., the comparisons to the great Spurs teams are apt. They're right. When I look at the construction of this team, look at the roster, Stephen A. Not only are they playing crazy, unselfish basketball, moving the ball, passing up good shots for great ones. Look at the roster construction. Remember how I always talk about, and you say, yup, Larry Brown used to say that Chris Paul must be Larry Brown's fantasy of a perfect point guard, right? Conley is some version of that. Right? He's kind of the perfect point guard. Donovan Mitchell is a star who, under pressure, is a superstar. And Joe Ingles was starting for them not all that long ago, and he is a good offensive player who's versatile on offense and a good enough defensive player. But he's been swapped out for Royce O'Neal and on this version of the Jazz. And Royce O'Neal's the opposite. He's a good offensive player. He can hit shots. He's a willing passer who's a great versatile defensive player, right? So everywhere you look, you got a guy, yup, I want that guy. Bogdanovich, obviously, on offense. And then Gobert is a useful offensive player who's a great defensive player. That's just the starting 5. Look at the veterans they have coming off their bench now. I mentioned Ingles. Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson has entered his prime now. He always had promise. He was aggressive, but he was like a good player on bad teams. And obviously a guy like that wants to start and be a star. He's 28 years old. His skills are as complete as they're ever going to be, it seems to me, in terms of also his physical prime. And the dude has accepted that as a sixth man, with the knowledge he now has, he's shooting 8-9 threes a game and hitting like 40% of them. Stephen A., guys like that off the bench, this team is an extremely well-coached team and a well-oiled machine on both sides of the floor. They're the best team right now.
That's what I was actually waiting for you to get to that last part, because that is the part. And I just want to throw off some names because I've never done this. In the history of First Take, I've never done this. I want to read off the names of Utah's coaching staff. Alex Jensen, Mike Wells, Lamar Skeeter, Vince LaGarza, Sergey Oliva. Dell Demps, the former GM in New Orleans, is now an assistant coach with Utah. And Keyon Dooling, just a certified life coach. This brother is a special brother, really, really good brother, got a great head on his shoulders and really does a lot of stuff and just getting guys mentally prepared to perform. Keyon Dooling was one of those dudes with the NBPA and all of that stuff. He's a special person. Got a lot of love and respect for him. And it's great that they have him on their staff as well, because he can help any staff in the NBA. And all of this is led by head coach Quinn Snyder, who was a college coach. I just want to make sure that I state this for the record. This man is an exceptional coach, and their staff is doing an exceptional job. This might be the best staff in basketball, because every single player, tell me one player that looks worse since it's under their stewardship. One player. There's no one that looks worse. Everybody looks better. And that's what you're seeing here. I'm looking at a guy like Royce O'Neal. Why does he matter? Because he's your perimeter defender. You got Rudy Gobert. He's an elite defender in the post, 2-time defensive player of the year. Probably going to win it again this year. I mean, the dude is formidable. So you got defense on the perimeter. You got defense in the interior. And as a result of that, they're going to create their own opportunities because they're limiting you to one shot. They're forcing turnovers. They're never shy with effort. Ever. We're talking about the Lakers. We're talking about Boston and others. Effort. We never say that about Utah. Effort, effort, effort. And so we know we got Donovan Mitchell. We know what a stud he is. We know what Mike Conley can do. But Mike Conley's been a veteran. We were talking about him potentially retiring. This brother looks great. He looks better than he did
Well,
last year.
he looked bad last year.
He looks better than he did last year. He looks better. You don't see that usually with veterans. I mean, you could literally, he was so bad last year, you could make an argument Mike Conley comeback player of the year. I mean, that's how good he looks right now. Okay? So I'm looking at all of these
No
things.
doubt.
And I just want to take a moment before I say what I'm going to say to give the Utah Jazz coaching staff a hell of a lot of love because they really, really deserve it. Having said that, I still don't give a damn. I ain't jumping off the Brooklyn bandwagon yet. When I sit up there and I look at last night, for example, and I see how the Lakers had no answer, let's just say that is the least of my concerns when it comes to the Brooklyn Nets offense. I ain't worried about them. I ain't worried about them offensively. You might try to outscore them. You're going to have to figure out something. Let's see what Royce O'Neal does when Kyrie is on the perimeter, or James Harden. Let's see what Rudy Gobert does when Kevin Durant is on the perimeter somewhere. Because you got to remember, Brooklyn don't have to play around with Utah in the interior. Brooklyn can sit up there and shoot you out of the gym without even sniffing in Rudy Gobert's direction. And DeAndre
Yeah, but Utah
Jordan,
can too.
And by the way, with DeAndre Jordan's age-old self, the brother still got hops. He's got size on him. He's got strength. You can't just push him around. And Rudy Gobert, it wouldn't be that easy for Rudy Gobert to go against him. I'm just saying, as great as the Jazz look, and they look phenomenal, I'm still not willing to say they look better than the Brooklyn Nets right now. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.